calls for the implementation of new strategies to accelerate global trade, investment and technology integration will come under discussion during the meeting of the leaders of the world's emerging economies at the Chinese southeast port city of Xiamen. President Jacob Zuma will join the summit host Xi Jinping of China and their counterparts from Russia, Brazil and India for the 9th BRICS Leaders Summit.
President Zuma arriving at the port city of Xiamen, he is joining his BRICS colleagues from Russia, Brazil, India and China for a 9th Leaders session. The BRICS economic grouping aims to achieve development, cooperation and a more equitable world. The 5 countries have already established a BRICS Bank and the Africa Regional Center opened in South Africa.
We believe that joining BRICS was a correct thing to do for South Africa. This is a very meaningful group of all the groups that exist globally. Of course, our joining BRICS was, in a sense, to be with the countries that we think alike on the matters of development, matters of how the global world should stand. We have made a lot of progress, I think, as all members of BRICS.
Perhaps more curious is the changing global dynamics. The U.S. global influence is waning, and BRICS under China's leadership is emerging as the growing power bloc that could shake the current system. Predictions are that China will surpass the U.S. as the biggest economy by 2020.
China and all of us are agreed to have mooted a very important theme for this BRICS, which will emerge as the outcome comes. So as South Africa, we're hoping that we would do more than we have done before in order to ensure that there are things that need to be implemented.
South Africa will take over from China as the next chair for 2018. It hopes to accelerate Africa's development agenda. BRICS leaders will also host the dialogue with emerging markets like Mexico, Egypt and Guinea. This is a sign that this grouping is serious about extending its global reach and influence. Mzwandi Lembech, SABC News, Xiamen City, China.
Meanwhile, the expansion of the 5-nation BRICS bloc into BRICS Plus is set to create a useful new platform for communication among developing countries. That's according to Egypt's ambassador to China, Osama Elmagdoub, ahead of the upcoming 9th BRICS Summit. Egypt is the first nation on the African continent to become part of the expansion initiative proposed by China in March of 2017.
After joining BRICS Plus in March, Egypt is looking to boost its relations with the biggest developing countries.
The idea of interacting with one of the biggest developing countries, which are the members of the BRICS, is very useful to other countries, those who are not members. It establishes good bridges of communication, of interaction, of opportunities as well.
Egypt will actively explore more cooperation opportunities under the China proposed plan. The plan aims to build a wider partnership among developing countries and boost South-South collaboration.
There is the possibility of meeting with perhaps some companies in China and interacting and exchanging views and perhaps listening to the updates and follow-ups of the business of these companies and the investment they are doing in Egypt, or companies that present new ideas for projects to be conducted in Egypt.
Mexico, on the other hand, would like to expand its cooperation with the BRICS bloc of emerging economies, with which it has maintained close ties. Mexico is one of the 5 non-member countries invited to attend the 9th BRICS Summit.
To expand cooperation among countries which are looking for new formulas for development, for cooperation, looking for resources, financial, industrial, knowledge and otherwise, that we can join together so as to find this common